Good morning, Internet. This is Alex does Sudokus, and it is Friday, the 25th of September 2020. Happy Friday, everyone. And we have another hard New York Times Sudoku for us today. So let's see how we look today. Oh boy. The 4 cages that are quite weak, so should be interesting. So let's see how we get on. And we're going to do some Snyder notations by looking at the numbers from 1 to 9 and see if we can pencil mark in 2 or less numbers per cage. And I can already see there's nothing going on with 1s, so what about 2s? Nothing on 2s either, so 3s. 3s are locked in these 2 cells because of these 2 3s. And I think that's it. So what about 4s? 4s are locked in these 2 cells because of that 4 and that 4. So that further locks a pair of 4s up here. And this 4 and that 4, no, that only locks them in 3 cells. So that's no use for us. No, that's also 3 cells. So let's look at 5s. I've got a 5 locked down in this cell because of these 2 5s. And let's see, nothing else going on. So just for a second there, I was looking at the 5 and the 4s because they look into the same rows and columns, so that locks them down into the same 3 cells. So for a second there, I just wanted to see if the same holds true for a third number, which would lock a triple there, but nothing happened. So let's move on to 6s. 6s are locked in, 6 is locked in this cell because of these 2 6s, and that's 6 over there. So we have another 6 locked down here because of this 6, and that's 6. So that further locks a 6 up here because of these 2 6s, and that's 6 taking up the column. So now we have 6s locked down as a pair down here. And we have the same thing going on over here in this cage where the 2 6s take up the columns. And now I have 2 cages being a grid of 9 cells. The 6s are locked in the same 2 rows, in rows 7 and 9. That means there has to be a 6 in row 8 over here in this cage. And since these 2 columns, 7 and 9 are taken, I can put another 6 in. So 7s, so that 7 locks a triple down here. So there are no 7s on this column. That means I have another pair of 7s locked down over here. And I think that's it for 7s. So what about 8s? I have a pair of 8s over here because of these 2 8s taking up the rows. This 8 looking up locks a pair of 8s up there as well. And I think that's all I can do with 8s. So let's look at 9s now. 9. Well, I've got a pair of 9s up here because of this 9 and that 9. And I think that's it. So what have we learned? Have we got any weak areas we can attack? Not especially. Weak areas being any rows, columns or cells with 3 cells or less that are remaining. We have 4 cells here in this row and this cage, so maybe it's worth having a look. We are missing 1s and 2s, and they see into the same cells, so that means 1s and 2s fall into these 3 cells. That is useful because that forms a triple with the 8, because 1, 2 and 8 all live in these 3 cells. That means the 3 can't live there anymore, so 3 has to be up there. And with that 3 we can place another 2 3s over here because of the 2 rows being taken up. Now we have another triple over here of 4, 9 and 2, no, 4, 9 and 8. Unfortunately, I can't see any of those 3 numbers on the columns other cage over here, so we can't resolve that just yet. So we just got 1, 2, and 8 floating in these 3 cells. Okay, so maybe it's time to look at all the cells again. So let's see, if we do pencil markings again, with 1s, they're locked down in these 2 cells. Let's see. Oh, actually, no. Thought I saw something else, but I haven't actually. So let's look at 2s now. 2s. I'm still in the same situation with the 2s. So what about 3s? Has that changed? Nope. 4s. 4, 4. I have a pair of 4s over here because of this 4 and that 4. So that further locks a pair of 4s down here because I've got a pointer pair of 4s now. So that's useful because I have a 4, 7 pair here, which means I've got another pair in these 2 cells, and they are 2s and what are they? 1s and 2s. Well, I've got 1 down here looking into this cell, so that has to be a 2, and this has to be a 1. That means in this cage we've got 2 and 8 left now. So that locks another pair of 2s up here. And let's stay on the 2s for a second. I've got 2s locked down in these 2 cells. So I think that's all I can do now. I wonder if 3 has changed either, but I'm skeptical that they would have. 3... No, 3 hasn't changed. And we were looking at 4s before, so let's stay on the 4s. 4s are locked in these 3 cells. And I think we remember that it's 5. Ah, okay. So 2, 4, and 5 are locked in these 3 cells because of the rows and this center row and the center columns are taken up. So let me place them. So if that's a triple, what have I got here? Well, I've got a pair of 7s here looking up, and they don't give me anything. So anything else? 2, 4, 5. Nothing else actually, so that's a shame. So let's stay on the 5s. Oh, we're on 4s. I think we're still on 4s, but I think we're done with 4s. So let's look at 5s. 5s. I have a pair of 5s over here because of this 5 and that 5. And that's useful because that takes out both of these 5s, locking it in place here. That means I've got 2, 4 pair now in this cage. It also means I have a pair of 5s over here. And I think that's it. That's all I can do. So what about 6s? 6. It looks like I've pencil marked in all the 6s. So we can move on to 7s then. 7. Nothing that I can see. Let's see, 7s are locked in these 3 cells, so that's not useful for me. What about 8s? No changes on... Oh no, 8s are locked in these 2 cells because of this 8 and this pointer pair of 8s over here. So... Nope, nothing else going on there, so let's look at 9s. 9s. Nothing going on 9s either, so we may just have to look at our weak areas again and see if we have anything else. Well, actually, before I do, I can already see a pair of 1s developing over here. Although that doesn't actually review any new... Oh, hang on. This one here would have erased that 1, so missed the pencil marking clean up there. So, cleaned up on aisle 8. 3, 1... Pardon the bad pun. 3s. So yeah, there's a pair of 1s over there. Threes are locked in these 3 cells, and I think that's useful because that's a 3, 5 and 8 triple, so that's useful because that locks another 1 there. There seems to be a lot of triples locked in cages, which is really useful. So all the 1s are pencil marked in. Let's see now. So 5 can't go in here. I'm just looking at, there's a there's a pentagonal, I guess, happening here in this column. I was hoping I could narrow these down to just 5s and 3s, but I can't. So, well, I do have a pair here though, so I don't know why I didn't attack that. Well, they have to be 9s and 7s. So if these are 7s and 9s, these 2s will have to be, these 2 will have to be 4s and 2s. Which aren't super useful at the moment. I'm gonna leave that for now because I don't like to pencil mark outside of a cage. I want to focus. Oh, hang on. This can't be a 7 anyway because of these 2 7s. So 7 and 9 are actually resolvable. So what does that give us? And we have a pair of 9s over here now because that 9 takes up the remaining columns, the remaining 3 cells. So that locks a 9 in these 2 cells as well, and that forms a 1-9 pair. So the 6 is pushed out. And is that the last 6? No. That's another 6 that's unlocked, and that's all the 6s. That's good. Okay, let's stay on this. Can we do anything else? We're just missing 3 and 8 that aren't pencil marked in. Well, these are 3, 7 and 8. But I can't place anything, so let's leave it for now. Have I got anything going on here? 3, so 3's on these 2 cells because of that 3. And anything else? Well, I've got a pair of 3's over here. Oh no, that's a lie. I thought I had a pair of pointed 3's there. This is why sometimes placing triples is dangerous, because I just saw a pair of 3's there and assume that I've got a pointed pair. Maybe I should be looking up here. So, okay, so these 2 are 4's because of that 4. So that can't be a 4 anymore, unlocking another 4. And let's see. These are 4, 8 and 9. We can't place them yet. What about these cells? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay, so 7 has to come up here because that's 7 and that 7 locks the 7 down. So we've got 8 and 9 left, but neither sees into this cage. But I've got another triple here, which is also 4, 8 and 9. So 4 can't go in this cell or that cell because of that 4 and that 4. So that resolves the 4. Finally, we can place the 8 and 9 as pencil markings. So we still don't know where they are in these cells for the 8 anyway. So let's leave that alone for now. We've got another pair here because of the 2, 8 pair, so that should be useful. They are 5's and 7's. 5's and 7's. So, oh yeah, there's another triple up there now. So many triples going on. That's really interesting. So, I think maybe it's time to do another round of notations. So, let's see. Other ones are pencil marked in. 2's. Oh, hang on. Have I got anything going on here? These are 8, 9, and 3. So I've got 3 here. That leaves it as 8 and 9. But this can still be a 3, so that's no use for me, actually. Can I resolve this yet? This is a 4 and 2 pair. No, I can't. I've got 5, 8, 9, and 2. No, let's just try and do some pencil markings. So, 2's. Bit of a slow solve today by the look of it. So 2s are no good. 3s. 3s are now a pair over here. Is that useful for me? No, not until I can rule out this out as a 3. So 3, 3, 3. Nothing else on 3. So what about 4s? Are all the 4s pencil marked in? They are indeed. And then no resolutions. So what about 5s? 5s are locked over here. No, 5 is still no good for us. So let's leave 5 and look for 7s. I've got a pair of 7s here because it is 7 and that's 7. So 7, 7. Nope, nothing else on 7. Let's look at 8s. 8. So these are 3 and 8 as a pair, so I should have seen that earlier. But so that relieves the 8 over here and unlocks the 2. So now 2 is locked in here because of these 2s and that 2. So that unlocks the 1, the 7, the 4, and finally the 9 over here. So the 9 relieves the 9 and 1 down here. And we still can't resolve the 3 and 8 though. So, but got some progress going on. So this can't be a 4 anymore. Pushing the 4 up there. And surely I should have all the 4s by now. No, I've got 2 pairs of 4s. Okay, so what's this sound? And this has to be a 2, which resolves the 2, 8, and 9 over here, which in turn resolves the 8 and 9 over here. And that in turn should unlock the 8 over here. So it doesn't unlock the 5 and 3 yet. But these two 8s locks an 8 down here, so that's a 9. So these are now 3s and 7s. And that's useful because 3s are now locked in rows 7 and 9 in these 2 cages. So that means the 3 has to go there, although we could have deduced that by just looking at this row as well. So 3 and 8 are resolved, leaving me another 8 down here because of that 8 and that 8. So that further... Oh, hang on. Oh no, I've already got an 8 in there. So in fact, all the 8s are done. So we should be close to finishing now. So these are 5s and 2s. So I think if I focus on the 2s, I can probably do more. Yes. There's another 2 here because of these 2s. So that unlocks the 5 and the 3. That unlocks the 3 and the 7. 7 and the 4. 4 and the 2. And this is now a 5 and 3. Well, that can't be a 5. So 3, 5 and 3 are resolved. And this 5 also unlocks the 7 and 5. Unlocks a 5 there, 7 there, and finally a 9 over here. And that resolves today's hard New York Times Sudoku. I hope that's been helpful. I thought to get a bit slow today I kind of haven't been doing much explanation on hards, like detailing my moves in a while. So I thought I'd do a bit of a slower one today. It turned out to be quite useful actually because, I don't know, just the way the triples are formed are quite new and they're just handily fit into the pencil markings, so I'm glad I took my time on this. I might have missed them if I try to jump ahead too quickly. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe if you do. Otherwise, I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.